I just got in this nice big box from CGC with a standard tier submission. If you want to know what's inside, stay tuned for the video. Thank you for clicking play on the video. I'd like to ask you to click the thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and ring that notification bell so that you can get alerted every time we bring out great content. Thanks. Hey YouTube comic community, this is Jimmy the Geek Aficionado, and I have a box from CGC. It's a standard tier submission. Now, if you don't know what a standard tier submission is, these are books that equal in value of up to $1,000 each. That's obviously raw prices, not the graded prices, which do have a tendency to change. So these books were submitted a few months ago. It took a while to get back from CGC, but we've got them here. And I have 4 books in this box that belong to me. Some of the other ones belong to customers, so we're going to bypass those, and we're just going to focus on the 4 that are in there that are mine. Now, of note, in this submission is the fact that there are 3 of those 4 books are from the massive Marvel comic collection that I had been showcasing over the last few months that I picked up back in 2018. And some of these were sent off. Some of these were books that weren't actually shown in that because they had been sent off at the time I was doing the recording. So we didn't really get to those so much. Well, actually, one of them is in here, and I'll show that one off. But so we're gonna start looking at some of these. Let's see. So let's cover the grade. Nope. Okay. Perfect. These are all right here. Okay. So we'll start with, we'll start with this one. Here we go. Okay. So, this is a copy of Iron Man #1. I sent in 2 copies of Iron Man #1, actually. And you know what? Here's what we're going to do. We're going to do this. I'm going to find the other one. Here it is. And because they're 2 different ones, they had different defects and such. So we're just going to cover them up. And yeah, so one had a little bit more defects that I thought might be characteristically, to keep it lower. Otherwise, I don't know, maybe not. But I had one pegged as a 7 and one pegged as an 8. So we're going to say this guy here is the 8. And we're going to say that this guy here is the 7. All right. So, widen that out a little bit. All right. So this one, as you can see over here, the 7, it doesn't have quite the the straightness, right? The what is it? You can definitely see it on the back, right? So there's a cover roll that goes over, right? So, it's not as centered to the actual book itself as this one is. This one's a lot more centered, right? Nice kind of picturesque, but it does have this this little corner crease down here on the bottom. If you can see that, I'm showing that well. Anyhow, so it does have a corner crease to it, but let's see what we got. All right, so we'll start with the one that I had marked as a 7 and find out what we got on this guy. 8.5. Wow. Let's get this closer. You guys can see the grades better. 8.5. That's fantastic. So that's a lot higher than I thought it was going to be. And then this one we also had as an 8, and he's also an 8.5. So that's that's fantastic. So as I said in those videos, these books, so a lot of these books were incredibly high grade. And this is a book from 1968, right? Still in a VF plus. I mean, just hanging below that 9.0 area. So that's fantastic for these. And you know what? I'll go over the prices on them after we finish unboxing. All right, so we're just gonna set these off to the side for right now. And needless to say, this is the one I'll be keeping. Normally, I'll keep I'll keep all the big books, but we need to make room for other big books, right? Got to get more big books. It takes big books to get big books. All right, so one more from that collection. Yeah, this was a good one. Now, I mentioned when I was showing this one off that I felt that it was really high grade. As a matter of fact, I believe that I said that this guy was probably about an 8.0. So this is Amazing Spider-Man number 20. Let's kick that back. Amazing Spider-Man number 20. This is the first appearance of the Scorpion, Matt Gargan. Now, Matt Gargan actually appears in issue number 19 first, but as the Scorpion here in issue number 20. As I said, this was just a very high-grade book, and I thought that this was an 8.0. That's where I had it penned before I cleaned and pressed it. So after that job is done, what do we have? We have another 8.5. That's fantastic. Yeah, this is a great, clean book. Just as you can see, I don't think I showed it off very clearly in that previous video, but this is a nice looking copy of a great Spider-Man book. This is one of his later villains. He didn't get a lot after the first, what was it, 15 issues? You had, you had 13 was Mysterio, 14 was Green Goblin, 15 was Kraven the Hunter, and then almost nothing after this guy. 28, you've got the Molten Man, and then down to 50, I think is the next time you get a really solid villain, and that's the Kingpin, and then even more dry after that. But they had a lot to work with already, so not too big a deal. All right, so last book. This one was on the 2020 hunt list, and I didn't get it. And then it transitioned to the 2021 hunt list, and I did get it. I got it earlier this year. Now, it's a big book, right? So it doesn't matter, what the situation is. It's a big book. And I had a little bit of difficulty finding a copy that I liked that was presentable enough and a low enough grade that I could really afford, so that it would be worth my while. There would be benefit to getting it. And that book is and it looks so good in the case. Let's just cover up the stickers or the grades here. It's Action Comics number 252. This is the first appearance of Kara Zor-El, who is Supergirl. And yeah, like I said, I was having difficulty finding a copy in the grade that I really wanted to get. And that was, kind of usually like 2 and above, right? Because it's a 10-cent book, right? This book is from 1959, right? So that's relatively old in terms of, comics, particularly for the Silver Age, right? That's incredibly early Silver Age, not long after Barry Allen Flash. But the nice thing is, it presents well, as you can see. If I can do it without getting too much glare on there, but it presents well, right? There's not a lot of staining, tears, things of that nature. It does have it does have a lot of color breaks to the cover. That is true, but it still does, present well from a shelf level, right? But I paid $600 for this book. and I was happy to get it. I cleaned it, I pressed it, and we're hoping for between a 2 and a 2.5. That's kind of where I had it penned. So let's see what the fine folks at CGC had to say about it. 2.0. Okay. Would have loved to have a 2.5, but you know what? I can't be disappointed, right? This book has definitely increased in value since then, taken off quite a bit, specifically because they've mentioned that they had cast Supergirl into the next Flash film, and we'll see how that goes, right? Definitely, you know, always great to see superhero characters in film. Hopefully, they do a good job with the movies. We'll see, right? Some are hit, some are miss, you know, even with solid characters like Wonder Woman. So we'll see how it goes. But happy to have this book that I had just, I mean, it had been on the list for a while. Like I said, it's a nicely presenting copy for a 2.0. Not a lot of damage, and I'm happy to have it. So let's get to the analysis. So let's start with the Action 252. In a 2.0 CGC using GPA, gpanalysis.com for our pricing. This book last sold for $1,230. That is both the last sale and the 90-day average, as it's the only sale in this grade in the last 90 days, which means that this book in this grade is valued at twice as much as what I paid for it raw. And that's a significant increase no matter what you say, right? And no matter what anybody says, right? That's a 200% increase in value between raw to slab prices. So I'll take that any day. Next book is Amazing Spider-Man number 20. First appearance of Matt Gargan as the Scorpion in a CGC 8.5. I got this as part of that collection, so my cost on the book itself is significantly low. This book last sold for $3,280, and that is also, again, the last 90-day, the 90-day average, because it's the last time that book sold in the last 90 days in this grade. So that is a significant value for this book, $3,280. Wow. This one's a keeper, no doubt about it. And finally, we have a pair of Iron Man number 1s. Invincible Iron Man, but it's listed as Iron Man number 1 from 1968. This book, valued in this grade of 8.5, has a last sale of $2,280 and a 90-day average of $2,327. This book has gone up significantly. There had been a time where this was probably one of the lower value, lower priced books that you could get from the Silver Age. That's a number 1, right? Because it's not a first appearance. Tales of Suspense 39 is his first appearance, and then he did a long stint in Tales of Suspense before they reset that and brought him into a number 1 along with the Submariner. These books have trailed in value amongst books of its kind and age for a very long time, but now we're seeing significant increases in those values and obviously significant increases in values across the entire industry. But needless to say, this is a nice pair of books to have at a $2,200 value each, so I'm happy to have them. Thanks for watching the video. If you could take a second and click that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and click the notification bell, you'll find out when I'm bringing in excellent books like this. Take care.